Alright, I've been throwing some mass airflow sensor codes. Of course, I been to hell and back trying to figure this out. And I read all I could on it and got to no conclusion, definite conclusion online. I was throwing, I believe, a 1447. I don't remember the code off the top of my head, but it was saying a short to B on the mass airflow sensor, which is sitting here. This is an Mk4 Golf TDI. And swapped out the mass airflow sensor, got rid of my K&N filter. Yes, I don't care what they say on K&N. My experience with the air filter in this car is that it does affect the mass airflow sensors, and that's my opinion. You might have different results, but you know, I've put over 1.5 million miles on cars, and on this diesel anyway. I've used K&N in the past. Carbureted engines seem to work fine. My experience with fuel injected or anything with a mass airflow sensor, I seem to have issues with, so it starts throwing codes. So same with split fire plugs. I've had coil packs go out with split fire plugs. I've called the company years and years ago, and they said no, it's impossible. And lo and behold, I lost coil packs in an SLK Mercedes compressor, and I lost coil packs in a Beretta GTZ. But anyway, back to this situation I had going on. So I replaced the K&N with a standard filter. I assume, from what I was told by a few mechanics, that there's too much air going through, passing by the mass airflow sensor with the K&N, which can cause some fluctuations and cause them to burn out prematurely. And also, I did watch a video that showed evidence of quite a bit of dust up inside the intake box with a K&N versus the stock filter that they have. So I guess the stock filter's better. But I guess this is pertaining to the mass airflow sensor because we need clean air going over the sensor. The problem I want to address is the one that nobody seems to have resolved. I've got VCDS. I just got in yesterday, and I've been playing around with that actually 2 days ago, and I'm still trying to figure that out. But through some codes, one code was saying that there was a short to B plus, inconsistent signal, yada, yada, yada. So took the mass airflow sensor out, swapped it out with a different one. That one, same thing. Cleaned, put my old one back in, cleaned it. Same problem. And what I discovered is that on these plugs, I'm not going to mess with it, okay? But on this plug here, when you hook up your plug, you push it in. And what people don't realize is that you should pull it out to engage your lock. So if I take this and I push this in, I'm going to throw a code. Now I just figure it's the plug design, because on this car there's only been I've only gone through maybe 4 mass airflow sensors, and I'm at 413,000 miles. But it's been a mass airflow sensor problem for the last 100 that I've just ignored till it got real bad. Anyway, that's why I got the VCDS. So people out there having problems with this, you might want to make sure your mass airflow sensor's new, but even then, your newer sensor might get your contacts a little better up inside this plug, make contact inside the plug better. I put dielectric grease in there, and then was messing around with it, and was playing with the plug. You know, I unplugged it to see if the motor would change. Tested the voltage coming out of bank 2, which should be 12 volts, and bank 4 should be 5 volts. The line voltage on bank 2 on this plug should be varying if the car's running, so I test it with the car running. And the other ones are for signals for the mass airflow sensor, bank 3 and 5, if I remember right. Okay, so anyway, point being, you put your mass airflow sensor plug on, push it in all the way, it'll click. When it clicks, pull it out. Make sure you got some dielectric grease on it. And for those who are wondering how you get them stupid tamper-resistant screws out, you take vice grips, go on the side, unscrew them, and get rid of those shitty screws, because they won't have those tamper resistant bits in your average auto parts store, because the average auto parts store has a 6 star bit, and I believe these were a 5 on the Volkswagen. So anyway, I shit canned those screws. We went with some stainless steel. I'm going to be looking at clocking this in the future, possibly, unless I can get the VCDS to realize it needs to allow a little more airflow through the system, because we have EGR delete. So anyway, upgraded to 216 nozzles, cleaned the injector system, cleaned the intake, replaced the turbo, by the way, since the last video, that something got into the turbo. Well, what happened is that the intake box got a crack in it. You see it here? So what happened, that got a crack, and something got in there, went down into the turbo and took out the compressor fan, which really sucked. But hell, you know, I had 414,000 miles on that turbo, and original turbo, by the way. So the bearing's still good. I just got to replace the compressor wheel. So anyway, I got another exhaust from a guy. I helped him pull an engine. We pulled an engine on one of these in 3 hours, and he gave me the turbo and the exhaust. We're helping him out. Took me 12 hours to put it in. It was a lovely job. This is one of the few cars that I'll say it has hour bolts and hour nuts on it. Take an hour to take a bolt out, or an hour to take a nut out. It's just the way it is on these German engineered Volkswagens. I think these people have, you know, monkey hands and rubber joints. So anyway, hopefully that helps people out. I know this is running long, and I guess I really don't care. It's just my 2 cents. I'm trying to help some people out. I'm not trying to make anything fancy. I'm not all about that. If you want fancy, go look at a different video. I'm just trying to point out some of the issues that I've had that I've resolved, and hopefully that'll help some people out. Anyway, peace out. Hopefully that helps those people that are having a problem with this. I'll look up the code, post it, and we'll do some more videos in the future. All right, take care.